What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, and recently we've been getting a lot of promotion for this Eevee that will play a role in the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. Many even coming to the conclusion that this Eevee might indeed be Ash's due to being near Ash in this new poster, being near Ash in this opening, and finally, Ash does actually need a new member on his team as soon as possible, which Eevee being one of the brand new mascots for the Pokemon franchise thanks to Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee just makes it a perfect fit for his team where the other mascot Pikachu is present. Plus, Ash is kind of like a third mascot anyway, so yeah. Plus, some people have even said that the hairstyle it has really reminds them of Ash, which is why it would fit him as well. So, with all of that great evidence gathered, people then started to question to themselves, what will Ash's Eevee evolve into? And that's where I come in, as today I'll be giving my response to that question, going through each evolution in the Pokédex chronological order to determine which one is most likely for Ash. Be sure to stick around till the very end of the video though, as there will be a second twist answer too. So, with that intro now said, let's not waste any more time and jump right into this discussion. Firstly, we have Vaporeon, and this evolution along with another is the most logical choice to people for Ash to own. Why is that though? That is simply because Ash does not have a water type on his team at this moment in time, whereas in his other regional teams, he's had at least one water type every time. And in a way, I can agree with this statement, that's some good logic. However, unfortunately, you also have to bear in mind two other factors. First of all, we've seen some of Ash's team trends be broken before. For example, back in the X and Y anime, many people speculated that he would capture a grass-type Pokemon as Ash always owned a grass-type Pokemon on his team. However, that of course did not happen whatsoever. And another example of this is that the regional bird trend got broken. Ever since Sun and Moon and Pikipek was announced, pretty much the entire Pokemon community was confident that Ash would capture a Pikipek. Has it happened so far though? No. And do I believe he will still get a Pikipek? No. As come on, he's had 3 flying types in the X and Y anime, which was a lot, and he already has a flying type on his Alola team, so flying types have been a bit tedious recently. I mean, there is some evidence Pikipek could be caught by Ash, however, I truly do believe that will be another character's Pokemon, maybe a rival. But my point overall here is just because Ash had a water type on every team so far doesn't mean they cannot break that trend, as they certainly have done before with what I just stated. As for the second and final point though, so far, Ash has only received Z crystals that relate to his type of Pokemon, and the Water Sea Crystal is in the hands of another character at the moment, aka Lana. But you're probably saying to yourself right now, well, maybe Ash can get a Water type Sea Crystal in the future too. However, I highly doubt that, as it doesn't look like the anime doesn't want to give the main characters the same type of Z Crystal as well. Rivals excluded, as for example, Kiori has the Fire type Sea Crystal, yet Ash does not have a Fire type Sea Crystal whatsoever, and is looking even more unlikely now. So, with those 2 points combined, this makes Vaporeon a little bit of a less likely candidate than people initially thought it would be. Again, it's still possible that Ash could get this Pokemon, but you've also got to consider this evidence I've showed you to be one reason why to consider he's not getting a Vaporeon anymore. Moving away from Vaporeon though, let's now talk about Jolteon. Yeah, although it is a cool Pokemon, Ash definitely won't get this, as Ash has never caught an electric type Pokemon outside of Pikachu, as Pikachu is always on his team anyway. You could use the argument of, well, maybe that trend could be broken and he could get a new electric type Pokemon to join him and Pikachu. However, if you did think that, I'd like to remind you that everybody thought Ash would catch Grubbin and evolve it all the way into Thikivolt thanks to the first Sun and Moon opening showing Ash catching a Grubbin. However, that never happened, and Sophocles was the one ending up with the Grubbin line. This showcasing us even more that the anime at this moment in time doesn't dream of giving Ash another electric type. Again, much like Vaporeon, Jolteon could happen, anything's possible, but to me, it's definitely lower than a 10%. Next up, we have Flareon, and my quick answer to this Pokemon is a no, as Ash already has a fire type on his team already, which unlike those Kalos flying types which had different primary types, Vaporeon is a pure fire type, which wouldn't really bring anything to the table as Torracat is the pure fire Pokemon. And even if it is to evolve into Incineroar, it definitely looks like it will be the only fire type Ash will need as well. So unfortunately, Vaporeon is a very low percentage to me. But moving on, we now come to Espeon, which surprisingly, it holds a solid ground to be one of the most possible evolutions Eevee evolves into. As firstly, let's bring up the point that Ash has never had a Psychic type on his team, so why not give him his first Psychic type ever in the Sun and Moon series? And yes, Ash did take care of a Segaleo, which is part Psychic type, however, he never officially caught it, so it doesn't really count. Anyway, regardless of that, my second reason of why Espeon is a good candidate is because apparently, and this is not 100% backed up at this moment in time, I still yet to find the origin source, but apparently Ash's favourite evolution is Espeon. So if I was to pick which form he wants without allowing it to evolve into whatever he wants to, it would most likely be a Espeon. By the way, don't mind the red fanboy lines on this screenshot I took. I could not recapture the screenshot. Regardless of that though, as for my final reason, bear in mind that Gladion actually owns an Umbreon, so maybe the anime creators will have decided that they want to make Eevee evolve into Espeon, as it's the polar opposite of Umbreon. This showcasing us the differences in personality regarding Ash's and Gladion's rivalry too. If we are to dive a little bit deeper into this too, Red did own an Espeon in the Generation 2 games, which of course Ash is based off Red's character, so that could be something too. Just overall with all of these reasons combined though, Espeon is definitely high up on the list of what Ash's Eevee could evolve into. Moving along though, the next evolution we have is Umbreon, which the simple answer to this will be a no, as Gladion owns an Umbreon already, as I just stated. Plus, if you are to bring up the point that if Ash had an Umbreon, it could be Gladion's Umbreon's rival, well, technically, one of Gladion's Pokemon have a rivalry against one of Ash's already, which is his Midnight Lycanroc having a rivalry against Ash's Dusk Lycanroc, which we only usually see one of the Pokemon from each side out of the 6 Pokemon in total have a rivalry, no more than one rivalry, and this theme has continued on ever since Gary. For example, we have Blastoise and Charizard, Electivire and Infernape, and finally, Greninja and Sceptile. So overall, I don't really see Umbreon holding that much weight at all. Oh yeah, if you're questioning why I mentioned Gladion's Umbreon when talking about Espeon then, I wasn't actually saying they could be rivals, but more so, it would show us the different traits of Ash and Gladion. Plus, even if I was to ignore what I said about only there being one rivalry, I still don't see Ash owning an Umbreon. I'm sorry, I know it's a cool Pokemon, but I just don't see it happening. Making their way next is Leafeon, which similar to my case with Gun and Flareon, I don't think this will personally happen, as Ash already has a grass type on his team, and that Pokemon even has a secondary type in, which makes it more unique compared to this pure grass type. But like always, nothing's impossible. There is a possibility it could be Leafeon, but for me personally, I do not see this happening. Sliding in next, we have Glaceon. And yes, that pun was intended. Ain't I cool? Ooh, I did it again. Okay, before I make anybody cringe more, despite me loving Glaceon, it's my favourite evolution, I can definitely not see Ash getting this Pokemon, and that is because this evolution has already belonged to a main character already, which that of course is May. Now yes, we have seen main characters own Pokemon that old characters had. For example, Dawn owned a Cyndaquil, yet Ash owned one, and she even had a Togekiss, which was a part of the Togepi line, which Misty owned a Togepi that evolved into Togetic before getting released. However, haven't you noticed that even though it does happen at times, it's just to advertise the new evolution, for example that Togekiss, or even promote upcoming games. In this case, Cyndaquil like I mentioned, which was actually to promote Heart Gold and Soul Silver pretty much. So unfortunately, Glaceon still doesn't hold up in my opinion. Finally, for our list of evolutions, we have Sylveon, which, come on, would you ever see Ash with a Pokemon like this? I certainly don't. And much like Glaceon, Sylveon was owned by a main character already, which that of course is Serena, so we might never see it again on a main character. With all of those evolutions now analysed though, in conclusion, possibly Vaporeon or Espeon are the most logical choices for Ash's Eevee to evolve into. I would personally lean towards Espeon though, as Vaporeon had more arguments to back it down compared to Espeon 0 at the moment. And you know what, I wouldn't mind that whatsoever anyway, as I definitely agree with the points I made, of course, and Espeon is a very cool Pokemon anyway. Before Glaceon came into my life, Espeon was my favourite evolution too, so it'll be pretty cool if Ash got it. However, despite everything I have analysed in this video so far, there are still 2 more choices that are as strong as Espeon's case in my opinion. And that is that Eevee could evolve into a brand new, never seen before evolution at this moment in time, or possibly not evolve at all. Firstly, for my case of the brand new evolution, why I and many others too in fact think this is because we have seen new generation Pokemon make their debut in the anime before their debut in the new generation games. The latest example of this being Zygarde 10% and 100% forms in the XY anime when they only got introduced for the Generation 7 games, and of course Magearna in the Generation 6 movie, Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel. Not only that though, but if you are to follow the trend of new evolutions happening every 2 generations, you would guess that there would be a new evolution in the Generation 8 games. And if you are to think even further, Ash has been pampered to receive new Pokemon before their debut in the next games too. There's been Ash Greninja's form change and Dusk Lycanroc, so why not an evolution too? My only problem with this though is that we already got Dusk Lycanroc in this series, so why give Ash a second in this series? It would just make Lycanroc feel less special, and I truly do believe that the anime creators know this too. But still, this choice is as high up as Espeon, as the already over-revealed evolutions do not hold that much justice to actually be one of the possibilities for Ash. Finally though, let's talk about the option of Eevee not evolving whatsoever. And truly, if I had to pick one option out of this entire video, it would be this one. As let's face it, 1. Ash doesn't evolve his Pokemon all the time, so what's to say this won't happen again in Sun and Moon? And 2, as I already stated in this video, it looks like Ash was given Eevee to promote Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee anyway, which you cannot evolve your Eevee in Let's Go Eevee. Instead, you are given exclusive partner moves that make the Pokemon more stronger as an Eevee, which I could totally see happening in the anime too. It makes so much sense. I mean, Pikachu is already strong enough without evolving too, so you could use that as evidence too, if you so wish. So, my final answer for this video is that I believe Ash's Eevee won't evolve because those partner moves got introduced in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and the fact that you cannot evolve it whatsoever anyway. However, if I really had to pick an evolution, that of course would be Espeon or the new evolution, based on all the evidence I just gave you guys in this video. Plus, they'll be cool anyway. However, let me know in the comments down below what you personally think will happen with Ash's Eevee. I love to hear. But that, everybody, concludes this discussion. So, if you enjoyed this little discussion, then be sure to consider leaving a like, a subscribe, and a share for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. For now, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching.